Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. Stand up for your country. I want to welcome all the new premium and concierge members to BillO'Reilly.com. We've had a flood of those after my promotion on Monday when I said, if you were ever going to sign up for PM membership, this is the time. And the reason is very simple. Most of the media, both corporate and social media, are not reporting the truth about the election. They're not being honest. They're skewing it to their point of view. And it goes right and left. We don't do that. We're never going to do it. And so if you want straight news about the election, this is where you come. I guess there are others who do that, but I'm not really aware of them at this level. Tomorrow on the No Spin News, we're going to give you our worldwide viewer and listenership. And you're going to be very surprised about how many people are watching and listening to the No Spin News. I was shocked about it. So we'll give that to you tomorrow. Anyway, the talking points memo this evening is about day 3 of the Democratic National Convention. First of all, most of the coverage is very boring, particularly during the day. I don't think anybody's watching it during the day. I'll give you the numbers for prime time a little bit later on. But it's just dull. And it's not the fault of the news operations because you got to bring in the partisans when you're at the Republican convention. You got to talk to Republicans and Democrats, you talk to Democrats, and it's just propaganda after propaganda after propaganda, you know. And why would I watch it? I wouldn't. And so luckily I have a very good staff that if anything is said that's of interest, I immediately get a ping and I can go in and look at it. Okay, so let me give you some facts because they're always important. About 75 demonstrators have been arrested so far outside the convention center in Chicago. None of those, I predict, will be prosecuted by Cook County. None. Zero. You can spit at a cop, throw a brick at a cop, you can deface property, you can do whatever you want. They'll arrest you. They're not going to prosecute you. That's Cook County, Chicago, one of those liberal precincts in the country. They're just not going to do it. All right. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize, but I'm not going to be wrong. The security is basically good inside the arena. However, I was on Hannity's radio program today, and he got jousted, Hannity, and we talked about that. So on his way onto the floor, he was verbally assaulted. And the authorities came and broke it up fast, but boy, that's a volatile thing. Now, interestingly enough, that very rarely happens to me. I'm 6'4", I'm 210 pounds, and I'm Irish. So those are 3 things that might want to restrain somebody from acting like an idiot. I was at the Met game on Monday night, and they could have been nicer. And there's no political component at the Met game, but people are very respectful, and it's in New York City, which is my hometown. My home field, I can't remember the last time I had a problem. I think it was 5 years ago in a Barnes & Noble store, but it's so rare. But in a loaded situation like the convention center in Chicago with all those Democrats, a guy like Hannity, you got to protect him. Okay, so the highlight last night were the Obamas, all right? Barack and Michelle. Roll the tape.
America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris is ready for the job. This is a person who has spent her life fighting on behalf of people who need a voice and a champion.
Kamala has shown her allegiance to this nation, not by spewing anger and bitterness, but by living a life of service and always pushing the doors of opportunity open to others. She understands that most of us will never be afforded the grace of failing forward. We will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth.
A little class warfare from Mrs. Obama. But this was the sentence that caught my attention from former President Obama. Kamala Harris is ready for the job. Based on what? She had 4 years in the Senate and she did nothing. No bills passed. No bills even voted on. 4 years. 3.5 as vice president. Nothing. Was tasked to making things better at the border. Didn't do it. So that's 7.5 years at the federal level with no achievements. Not one. So I understand why Barack Obama is saying that his party's candidate is ready for the job, but it's based on nothing. Now, Michelle Obama, totally different than her husband. And the Republican Party is very lucky that Michelle Obama did not decide to run for president because she would be a far stronger candidate than Kamala Harris. There's no question about that. So the Republicans caught a break having Kamala instead of Michelle. All right. Now, Michelle Obama, if you know her background, working class father, maintenance man. Okay, south side of Chicago, saw it all. Poverty, dysfunction, and she's hung up on the generational wealth aspect of America, which is minuscule. Many of us inherited anything that puts us into the wealthy category. Less than 1%. But you hung up on that. All right? No, Kamala's a working person. I don't know whether Kamala, I think she is a child of educated parents who had a middle-class upbringing, like many of us did. But was she deprived? No, she wasn't deprived. So I don't know how you make the linkage to Kamala is going to be the champion of the poor. I don't know how you make that linkage. But anyway, we expect that. But the most important speech last night was from our pal, Bernie Sanders. Go.
The oligarchs tell us we shouldn't take on price gouging. We shouldn't expand Medicare to cover dental, hearing, and vision. And we shouldn't increase Social Security benefits for struggling seniors.
The oligarchs. Oh. Now, in the past, I took Sanders at his word that he was a democratic socialist. I no longer believe that. Bernie Sanders is a communist. That's what he is. The difference is that Bernie Sanders wants the government in Washington to control every aspect of our lives, from economy to social, everything. In order to do that, you have to take private property to fund it. Already, the Democratic platform calls for an increase of $2 trillion in yearly spending. Already. And we've got record spending now. You cannot continue to run that kind of an operation unless you take private property away from people. That means taxing unrealized gains, for example. So if you bought your house at $400,000 and now the real estate people say it's worth $600,000, you have to pay a tax, even though you don't want to sell your house. Same thing on stocks. That's where Bernie Sanders and the Democratic Party are going. Now, the Democratic Party itself, that's not communist, all right? They don't understand what's happening here. But Sanders is a hardcore communist. And I'll point out again that he honeymooned in Moscow. Know anybody else who did that? While it was the Soviet Union. You know anybody else on this planet, outside of Russian people, who honeymooned in Moscow? I've always suspected it. Now I know it. And who is like this with Bernie Sanders? That would be Vice President Harris, co-sponsored his proposed federal takeover of the health system. All right? His bill didn't get to the floor, Sanders, but if it had and it passed, which even today I don't think it would, all private insurance in this country would be wiped out, health insurance. The government would run everything. Is that what you really want? Do you really want to be dependent on a federal government in Washington that's playing the equity game and everything else? Is that what you want? because that's what Bernie Sanders is. Now, Kamala's going to throw him under the bus. You're not going to see Kamala and Sanders campaign together. But her mindset, that's where it is. Okay. That bill, by the way, if you want to look it up, 2019, SB 1129, Medicare for All. Just read it. It's harrowing. It could have been written by Lenin. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. All right, let's get to the mail. We got the message board. Sarah, if you are a premium or concierge member, you can go to the message boards anytime. Post anything you want as long as it's not obscene or defamatory. You can post, and then people go back and forth. A lot of fun. It's a worthy intellectual endeavor. Okay, the message board is on BillO'Reilly.com for premium members. So Sarah is one of premium members. On Sunday, David Axelrod, a Dem Party strategist that O'Reilly listens to, said Trump may very well win because of the Electoral College. Axelrod is saying that to mobilize Democratic voters. Now, Trump could win, but that's not why Axelrod is saying it. Luann, concierge member. Thank you, Luann. Sadly, Bill, the Democrats are going to win. The American people cannot get past Trump's personality. Not so fast. All right, next week is a peak for Kamala Harris. She'll peak in the polls next week. Then after Labor Day, coming up on the debate, that's the key part of the campaign. Then the polls 5 days after the debate will start to matter. Trump is in it. He's got a course correct. Don't know if he will. Debbie, I think the interview with Stephen A. Smith was one of the best yet. Both made great points, and Stephen was even able to back up what he said with facts. I may not agree with him, but he had a lot of good things to say. I agree. We like Stephen A., and we respect his ability to stand up for what he believes in. I respect that a lot. And there are not too many of them, by the way. Most of them are weasels, these media people. That's not charitable. Evan Camarel, you nailed it, O'Reilly. Excellent program last night. Well, we go for excellence every night. Sometimes we don't achieve that, but most of the time I think we do. If I ever do a boring newscast, please let me know, because that's the biggest sin for us. We are not going to be boring. We got Jeffrey Stoddard, Yuma, Arizona. Just a reminder of why I moved out of California. Now they want to tax about how many miles you drive in your car and your insurance policies. They'll tax every blanking thing you do and have in California. And Kamala will try to get that done on a national level. That's what socialism is. Jeff Mills, Daytona Beach. Bill, your willingness to present both sides of the argument are respected. That's why I watch you. And kudos to Stephen A. Smith. I do not want to be told what to think by anyone. Give me the facts and I will decide. Plus, I just got my memorabilia mugs, political memorabilia mugs, and I love them. They are the best. I got to give props here. These, I'm telling you, these will last you your whole life. This is the Not Woke, and we got Cup of No Joe. We got Team Normal. I mean, the mugs. But I'm glad you like yours, Jeff. and keep them. They're going to be valuable someday. Richard Wise, Fredericktown, Ohio. I love the Killing series, read all of them, some twice. I pass them along to my nephew. I hope you might consider one titled Killing Caesar. We don't like to go off the American grid too much because that's my area of expertise. Been a lot of books written about ancient Rome. But I'm glad you read all the Killing books, 13 of them. Confronting the Presidents, by the way. Now, look, get on this train because September 10th is going to be here in a blink, as the cliche goes. Pre-order from BillO'Reilly.com, and we don't bill you until we ship. And then you'll get it first. Now, you can go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I hope you do. I hope you do. Okay? But you want to get it in conjunction to that first week because this is a book that's relevant to the election today. We talk about Trump and Biden in the book. Now, it's not Biden anymore, but it really is. Kamala Harris and Biden, no difference in policy. What else we got here? We want you to go to our store, get some baseball caps. I told you the story about I ran into a guy with the Team Normal cap, looked great on him. And he didn't know it was me because I had a hat and shades. I said, yeah, I really like that Team Normal. He goes, yeah, I got it from O'Reilly. I said, yeah, that O'Reilly guy. I took my glasses off, and then the guy's got a heart attack. Very funny. Word of the day, do not be Vericund. 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 All right, we'll be back with a final thought. Got a lot of info about the interview tomorrow with J.D. Vance. Hey, O'Reilly here, and you know I'm a proud American. That's why I rely on My Patriot Supply. Their Omega 3-month emergency food kit comes packed with 33 varieties of fillings, delicious foods, like creamy rice, old-fashioned Italian spaghetti. It also comes with a bonus protein kit that has diced beef, flavorful chicken, beans, 9 different fruits, and vegetables. This emergency food kit provides 2,500 calories per day to keep you well-fed and ready for anything. It is my duty to protect my family without waiting for handouts. We don't want that in the O'Reilly home. And that starts with food you can depend on to make you independent. So please go to preparelikebill.com right now. Save $300 on your mega 3-month emergency food kit. It ships fast, free. So please go to preparelikebill.com. Save $300 on your kit, preparelikebill.com. Have you ever been buried in debt, piles of overdue bills, threatening phone calls, and it just won't stop? Done with Debt is your way out. They have developed aggressive new strategies to end your debt permanently. Done with Debt tirelessly negotiates with your creditors to lower or even forgive what you owe. And they do it all without bankruptcy or new loans. Done with Debt has unique strategies to get you out of debt faster. But you need to hurry because some debt solutions are time sensitive. Visit donewithdebt.com and talk with one of their debt relief strategists for free. You have nothing to lose except your debt. Go to donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. Final thought, here we go. So tomorrow, Thursday, No Spin News. We'll analyze Waltz. He's going to speak tonight at DNC, but we are going to lead with Senator J.D. Vance and all policy all the time. No cat ladies, no cat gentlemen, no cats, period. Not going to be any cats in that interview. It'll be policy. I want to know what the senator thinks about the United States and how he would solve certain problems. Because I don't know J.D. Vance. I've never spoken with him, never met him. I was kind of surprised that Trump picked him. We'll get into that, how that selection went down. So I'm going to give the senator a lot of time because we've been trying for weeks to land this interview. Finally did. And I think it will be one for the ages. And it will go all over the place. And as I mentioned, tomorrow, we're going to give you the staggering numbers of people who watch and listen to the No Spin News. It just blew me away. So it's over for corporate media. Over. Done. Audience is 75 and up for them. Those are people who don't access social media. Okay? They do what they've always done. They sit in the living room, get the clicker, done. But Americans 75 years and younger, no more, because too corrupt. Okay, next week, I'm on vacation. It's been a rough summer because of Holly the terror dog. We're still dealing with her health issues. She's hanging tough. I'm taking Holly out to Eastern Long Island. It's kind of a breather for her and breather for me. But one of the criticisms of Donald Trump is that he doesn't emphasize policy enough. It's too much other stuff. We're going to do 4 nights on BillO'Reilly.com next week, Monday through Thursday, of the O'Reilly Trump History Tour. Everybody can access, not just Premier and Concierge, everybody. Okay? That's 100% policy. First night, Fort Lauderdale. Second night, Orlando. Third night, Houston. Fourth night, Dallas. We're going to run them in because what we talked about, Trump and I, in those shows, is absolutely relevant to today. So don't miss any of these. Now, we're going to put them up earlier in the day, all right? And we're going to keep them up for 24 hours, and then we'll put the next one up. That's how it's going to go down when I'm on vacation. Okay, I think you're going to find it fascinating. And we're going to do that as a public service. So tell everybody you know. You want to know what Trump thinks about issues, policies, I got it. Nobody else has it. Just us. BillO'Reilly.com. Thank you for watching and listening this evening. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.